Hi, I'm Maurice.
And I'm Jon.
Welcome to Advanced Comics for April 25th, 2012. With me this week is Jon. He's a member of the Heroes and Dreams Productions. Usually he's a crew member and not on this side of the camera. He's done stuff on Bags and Boards and actually usually he's behind the camera on Advanced Comics. So how does it feel being over here, Jon?
It's a little crazy.
As far as his comic book credentials go, I don't think there's a book out there that you haven't read. I'm yet to find one.
I have read all the books ever.
Our first book this week is Haunted City number 3. In this issue, Tom has stolen his father's credentials, broken into the police station, and is stealing heroin so that he can sell it to pay off a death sentence.
All good choices.
Sure, and he finds out some details about his dad that let him know his dad's not that great of a guy, but I don't know that he has any room to talk.
It all makes sense to me. After that, we've got Incorruptible number 29. Now, if you've been following this series, you know that the Plutonian's been back on Earth for a while now, and Max Damage has faced several tests to see if he's going to stay on the straight and narrow and keep his good guy credentials. People are starting to trust him, and coming up, we're going to have the greatest test that Max Damage is ever going to face. So we'll see if he keeps on that straight and narrow that he has been. If you haven't been reading Incorruptible or Irredeemable, you need to pick them both up because they're sister titles and they fit nicely. Learn more and more about both by reading both. So, you should check them out.
Then we have Mass Effect Homeworlds number 1. This is a series of one-shots about your favorite Mass Effect characters written by their BioWare creators. And the first character that we get, who was it, Jon?
James Vega.
Yeah, James Vega is the first character that we get a story about.
I'm excited because he kind of just shows up in Mass Effect 3. And I'm like, who's this guy?
Following that, we have All-Star Western number 8. Arkham is down in New Orleans having a good time, and he's in an opium house, and he kind of gets caught by the local authorities. Jonah Hex is joining a team called the August 7.
They seem like trouble.
And Cinnamon and
Nighthawk,
yes. They're getting into some cowgirl shenanigans.
The best kind of shenanigans. What's really interesting is this title next month will be crossing over with all the other Batman titles in the Court of Owls. So it'll be interesting to see how Gotham in the 1800s had to deal with the same threat that modern day Gotham is dealing with. After that, we have The Fury of Firestorm, The Nuclear Men, number 8. In this one, we've got Jason rushing off to, or should I say rushing, because that's his last name, off to Europe to save the world, because that's what Firestorm does. And in the process, he meets the Firestorm of France and the Firestorm of Great Britain. At the same time, we've got Poser and the other American Firestorm sinking deeper and deeper into the underbelly of the Firestorm protocols. So that's definitely something worth checking out. This book's been a surprise hit, for me anyway. I've enjoyed it much more than I thought I would.
Then we have Game of Thrones number 7. For all of you Game of Thrones fans out there, if you weren't getting enough Game of Thrones any other way,
you've got this comic book, you've got the series on HBO, you've got the books that George R.R. Martin wrote, you've got trading card game. There's multiple ways to get your Game of Thrones fix.
So in this comic, we have Jon Snow and Tyrion Lannister on the wall. And though they should be mortal enemies, they've kind of made a friendship of sorts. And then down in King's Landing, you've got Arya, who's mourning over the loss of her direwolf, and she's just been introduced to her quote-unquote dance instructor. And with Bran, he's just gotten some bad news. He may never walk again, but he may ride.
Yeah, I keep finding out that Bran will never walk again, and it breaks my heart every time.
After that, we have Kevin Smith's Bionic Man number 9. This follows the story of Steve Austin.
How Austin 316 was born.
The Bionic Man is in Washington, D.C., and he's dealing with a threat that causes him to draw on his last shreds of humanity.
After that, we've got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #9. If you've been following the series, then you know that Old Hop has just broken into the sewer layer of Ninja Turtles and kidnapped Splinter, their master/father. It's a neat twist in this new series of the Turtles. He brought Baxter Stockman's Mousers with him. That was pretty cool. And now the Turtles are homeless, and they don't know what they're going to do, and all hope lies in one thing: April O'Neil.
And a box of pizza.
Cowabunga.
Next up, we have Haunt number 25. This issue revolves around one question. Who is the Insect King, and what does his existence mean to the brothers?
Yeah, I think a lot of people expected it to go downhill after Kirkman left, and it hasn't. It's been a really good series, and it's been a lot of fun to read. So if you dropped it when Kirkman left, you need to pick it back up. After that, we've got Super Dinosaur number 11. In this one, we have Derek Dynamo in the Exile's clutches. And I'm sure we'll find about 2 pages worth of the Exile monologuing.
Definitely
about how Derek Dynamo is a necessity in taking over the world for the Exile. We've got Super Dinosaur trying to rush to the rescue of Derek Dynamo, and at the same time we've got Dr. Dynamo, Derek's father, has just broken out Max Maximus, hoping to get some information about the wife that he just remembered. It seems like it's going to be a really interesting issue.
Our last book is FF number 17. This is a roommate predicament if you've ever had one. Peter Parker and Johnny Storm as roommates. And yet, does it really matter? Because as we see it, nobody's ever going to be home anyway.
You've got Spider-Man, who's part of the FF. He's part of the Avengers. He's currently in the Midwest saving the world from Carnage. You've got him. He just teamed up with Daredevil and Punisher. I don't see how he has the time to keep up an apartment. Like he could use his webbing to stick himself to the other side of a bridge to catch a nap if he needed to. Who needs an apartment when you're Spider-Man?
Well, that was our last book, but we do want to talk about a few other things. The first of which is Free Comic Book Day. On the next Advanced Comics, we're going to be telling you about all the books that you can look forward to picking up at your LCS. So check out next issue and find out what you're going to get for free.
Free is the best price.
The next thing I want to talk about is the Avengers movie. With each passing day, it gets closer, and I'm so excited.
It's going to be so good.
Let us know what you think about the leaked footage or the trailers and such in the comments below.
One last thing. AMC has just optioned Thief of Thieves for possibly a new series. So, with the success of The Walking Dead, it looks like we may be edging closer and closer to a Kirkman channel.
Be awesome. As always, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and comment below. John, I'd like to thank you for hosting this week.
It was a pleasure.
And for those of you counting down with us till the end of the world, sadly, we only have 34 weeks left.